Hey everybody, it's Josh, and I have decided to take the next truly big step in living a healthy lifestyle, getting 100% healthy and living a happy, healthy life. And this is something I've been kind of putting off for a while, but I've decided to just take the next step and go for it. Now, as you all know, I just celebrated 18 months of living clean and healthy a few days ago, this past Tuesday, November 2nd, or was it Wednesday? Either way, it was November 2nd. And I have now been living a clean, preservative free, healthy lifestyle for 18 months. I've lost 125 pounds. I'm in overall much better shape than what I once was. But I've been on a drug called atenolol for the last 10 or actually about 13 years now. And what atenolol is it's a beta blocker. It lowers your heart rate and blocks your body from feeling adrenaline, basically. And doctors prescribe it as a blood pressure medication, which I've been on for, again, about 13 years. Now, atenolol has addictive qualities. So getting off this drug is not the easiest thing in the world. There's going to be side effects. There's going to be like problems. Um, for example, let me just tell you the problems of being on atenolol. When you're on atenolol, and any beta blocker really, you're pretty much half the man that you would normally be. You have half the energy you would normally have. You can perform physical tasks at about half the strength that you usually could. You could, if you're going for a jog, you can run for about half as long, so on and so forth. I mean, you get the idea. And the reason for that is because the atenolol doesn't allow your heart rate to get past a certain point. You can almost never get past 120, 130 beats per minute. This makes exercise very difficult. Now, you can still build muscle because building muscle isn't predicated on how fast your heartbeat gets. But even with that, it saps a lot of your energy. So, I mean, there's just a whole lot of things. You're always kind of like in a half asleep sort of days. It's just not good for your body. Plus, it depletes testosterone. It does all kinds of stuff to you. So, I decided that as I get into my 40s, I'm not going to be able to live a happy, healthy life if I don't get off this drug, at least not to the extent that I want to, or the extent that I could if I were drug free. So, I've decided to start the process of coming off atenolol. There's going to be problems, as I said at the beginning of the video. It's pretty much impossible to come off atenolol when you've been on it as long as I have without some serious side effects. Everybody who comes off this drug gets them. Extremely elevated heart rate, high anxiety, the whole deal. Because the atenolol has been blocking your adrenaline receptors for so long and artificially lowering your heart rates for so long that your heart doesn't know how to operate without it. So I'm in for a couple of months of problems. Now, most doctors recommend that you taper off atenolol over a 2-week period. Like you cut your doses in half every 3 days, and then at 2 weeks, you just quit. But my plan is to go a lot slower than that. My plan is I'm going to do it really slow. Like for example, I'm taking 100 milligrams a day, or I'm taking 200 milligrams a day right now. I just cut back to 100 milligrams a day, so the first step in the process is started. Now, this is the easiest step because I still have 100 milligrams a day of the atenolol in my system. I'm feeling some side effects, but they're nothing really to complain about. But when I want to lower myself to 50 milligrams a day, now in order to get off it, I have to lower myself to 50 milligrams a day, then 25 milligrams a day, then get off it. And what I'm going to do is something like this. Here's how I'm going to taper. So I'm taking 100 milligrams a week right now. every day. The next week, I might take 100 milligrams of atenolol a day for 6 days, but take 50 milligrams one day. The week after that, I will take 100 milligrams 5 days a week and 50 milligrams 2 days. Week after, 100 milligrams 3 days, 50 milligrams for 4 days. So I'm slowly weaning myself down from 100 milligrams to 50 milligrams, right? And then once I get on a 50 milligram sort of plane, then I'll start doing that with I'll start weaning myself down to 25 milligrams in the same way. And then once I'm on 25 milligrams, I will, that's where I'll wean myself completely off in that same very slow process. So even my own doctor, who's been she's been very good to me. Even she's recommending this 2 to 3 week taper. I just don't want to do it that fast because I want to avoid symptoms as much as I possibly can. I'm going to get them anyway, but they're going to come in like a flood if I taper off within a 2 week period, especially given that I am on the highest dosage of atenolol possible. So this one's got me a little nervous. Like I said, this is like coming off of anything else, like coming off of crack cocaine or something, or quitting alcohol. You know what I mean? So I'm in for some stuff. Now I've been researching about natural supplements I can take, magnesium and whatever, to somewhat control my heart rate as I taper off this stuff. And honestly, I'd love some advice for all of you. If any of you have been on a high dosage of atenolol and have weaned yourself off of it, throw some advice my way. Tell me what you did to sort of deal with the symptoms and how you dealt with the sleeplessness and the high heart rate at night and the whole deal like that. So I'm planning on getting a bunch of magnesium glycinate. I'm hoping that'll help. And but I want to hear from you guys, man. I want to hear from any of you who have been on any kind of beta blocker. It doesn't have to be atenolol, but any kind of beta blocker. What did you do to get through it? Did you do it a super slow way like I'm about to? And how much am I going to be able to avoid hard symptoms by doing this slower than most people do it? So I'd love to know all of that stuff. That's all for today. My Cash App's linked down below. Please show your love. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.